You guys, what's up? Today we're doing Stanley Parable Run. So I've gotten to the point where you can make the name. So I don't know what I'm gonna do right so far. Mm, let's go. All right, let's go. Fistful of Stapler. Pretty good name, bro. All right. So now we're gonna go in here. Oh, all right. So the music's kind of strange. Never seen this before. This is funny. All right, so I'm gonna just begin the game. All right, so as you know, well, you probably don't know this, but Stanley Parable is a game where you have
This is
to
the story of a man
like it's a
named
story of
Stanley.
a yeah, exactly. Just listen to the narrator, honestly.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
All right. So
And then
obviously,
one day, something very
so yeah,
peculiar
exactly.
happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
All right. So they
Something
don't
he would
actually. They
never
usually have
quite
the actual
forget.
title.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his
All right.
office.
So now I'm in control now. So
All of his
like,
co-workers were
yeah.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
All right. So I have an idea. Like, should I grab the bucket or not? What do y'all think? I am. All right. I'm gonna grab the bucket now because it makes it maybe a
It
little more
takes a lot of
interesting.
humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego
The new
and then
content door
proceeded
like
onward.
doesn't do a ton, so like I'm just gonna leave it for now. Continue with the actual storyline.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I will take the door on my left this time, even though like they both have different storylines. I'm gonna go. I mean, like they should make it some more doors open, to be honest.
Still no one was here.
This
Stanley
room's
needed the
funny because if
bucket's
you watch the
warmth and comfort
slideshow
now
enough,
more than ever.
it actually like,
Perhaps
goes
his
on and it's.
boss's office was
All right,
where
I'm
he'd
gonna.
find
I'll show you.
answers.
All right. Come on. And now it starts to. I think after this it starts to get crazy. Yeah. See, there's just so many charts. It just doesn't make sense. All right, it just gets more and more. All right. So this is the one door that does open. You can go into this broom closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This
The
broom
broom
closet
closet has
believes
aura.
it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Guys.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's
Alright.
settled.
Now we have a sticker on the bucket.
No more discussion. Take our hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look
I've
down
never
at the sticker and say,
went to
"Come
the
into a
downstairs
staircase."
with the
Stanley
bucket,
and the bucket walked
so I
upstairs to
think
the
that's what I'm
boss's
gonna do.
office.
I'm gonna go downstairs instead. This ending's a little bit creepy though, cause like it's just like this.
But
I'll show
Stanley
you.
just couldn't do it. He considered the
I don't know what's
possibility
happening
of
with the
facing his
bucket now.
boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive
See, it just
economy,
repeats.
why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times.
I feel like
such as
Stanley's
these.
going crazy, honestly.
He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket.
Yo, that's
Someone else's
crazy.
bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
No.
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my
Flying jet.
bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
Where
It was
is
the
it?
only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked
No.
out.
That's crazy.
This is the story of
the
a
bucket-
woman named Mariella.
What? Oh. I don't think
Mariella
I-
woke up
I
on a
can't-
day like any other.
She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Why does she
But
have a
on this
bucket?
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Marietta thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What? Alright guys, so thanks for watching that run. Like and subscribe.